Hey there, sports fans. Got a 45-minute game here against Red Wave. Bid with optionals. Super. Let's kick off. I will bid USSR +2. We've been here before. Also, I see the feedback on the mics are damn sight better this time. I like the update. Now defaults to USSR, because back in the day I used to just bid and forget. Right. See your stuff fine. Oh, he's not quite logged on yet. Poor guy. Let's hope that we don't eat too much of his clock. Anyway, so this is just a friendly 45-minute game. Red Wave contacted me about a month ago. We've been meaning to set it up, so it's bonus 10th. I suspect you won't see any more in the Reddit League, because although 70% win rate was fairly good, it looks like 75% is the cut for the playoffs. So you probably won't see any more uploads from me until the new year, when there'll be another cup match, hopefully. Just going to send him a message on my mobile and make sure he comes around fairly soon. Don't want him to lose all of his clock. So, anyway, we talked about setting it up as random +2, but went for bid because I said I've seen everyone bid from USSR 1 to USSR 3. So bid seems like the best way to arbitrage all that. He's on. All right, brilliant. Shelve that message. So I am USA +2. Europe scoring and Truman's nice, but no defectors. I don't think it looks like I'm going to be scoring Europe at domination. Let's put it that way. So it's a breakfast game for me and a nighttime game for Red Wave. I'm guessing he's in Australia. So this is the Battle of the Antipodes. So, best option is 4-4-2. I reckon. Keep Suez as long as I don't get purged. I might even headline Europe scoring, because I don't think I'm going to make domination there. Although then there's an incentive to open 4-3-3, knowing that Europe scoring is gone. But I'm always gun-shy about opening 4-3-3, especially as I can't see socialist governments, and I might get purged. Ugh, then I've told US-Japan as well. 4-4-2, screw it. I think headlining Europe's my best bet. Truman's my back pocket. Suez is my blockade card. I want to try and build into Lebanon and Egypt before I have Israeli war, which would make NASA spaceable ideally, although sometimes it's nice to dispatch NASA so he doesn't come back in the mid-war. I've got free ops with Formosa and those cards as long as I don't get purged. So bollocks to it. Let's go Europe scoring to start. Apologies for the rude language. And he does hit me with socialist governments up front. Perhaps I can dissuade him from the Italy coup because I've headlined Europe scoring, and he might go straight to Iran. Counterpoint, he may follow through with loading up Italy, knowing that I then have to respond with France, and he's got de Gaulle in the bank. So we'll see how things go. Let's see. Italy or Iran? Italy does not succeed very well. Lucky for me. So, that was Comic-Con gone. So, I want to have the last coup. So I want to invite him to go to Italy. To Iran, even. Let's hope coups get more interesting. Was that a 1? No, it's a 2. Either way. Yeah, there's something about having the last coup, especially with a 4-op card. So I want to invite Iran before I can coup back. So it looks like I'm not getting to space first this turn unless we get to AR6 and I can punt Suez. Again, it's a 45-minute game here, so my card tracking will be reasonable but not assiduous. What I want to know is what's definitely coming out in turn 3, have the power cards gone in the mid-war, tracking that kind of stuff, and focus on the fundamentals, really. So I expect him to coup Iran here, unless he's got some action cards, the D cards. If he's got CIA, he might be fancy and try and get it out sooner. He gets independent reds out first, which is good for him. And he's playing the long game, of course. So what I might do is... So I could be mean and play like that, which forces him to... I mean, that gives me a realign on Iraq. Although, of course, we might just go coup. And that also helps protect me against Arab-Israeli war, of course. Is that a good shout? That still leaves me a 4-op card for a coup. I'm threatened to realign on Iraq. That gives him Asia domination, and if he's holding Asia scoring as well, that's problematic. So that ditches my 4-op card. So it does look threatening, and leaves me NORAD. Let's do that. What's the worst that can happen? Let's not overthink this. Basically, he's threatening to realign, I'm threatening to realign, so he might just cut the Gordian knot and coup Iran. And he does go for the coup. Yep. He hits it. So now I have a weak coup in response, which is a little problematic. But I'm going to take it. Get my Milots. Let's hope for a big one. Big one! Super! So I will push up into Malaysia. If he has Asia scoring, then well done him. Use Cambridge 5. He does have Asia scoring. I guess I can live with that. So I'm going to give him the 1 in 6 on Israel there, and put 1 in Thailand, just to kind of defend against D-Col. He basically has the option then of influence or the coup next turn. It fails. If he blockades me, I punt Suez and play Nasser to take all of Thailand. Or maybe shore up Panama. Of course, if he Ds, he can go to Algeria and threaten France as well. So let's see what his last play is. Containment. To get presence and continue to push in. Alright, so that now gives me the option of spacing NASA. But instead, I think I'll event Suez and push into Egypt. Because then I can get through to Libya before Nasser, and if he coups big in Egypt, then, yeah, get rid of Suez. If he coups big in Egypt, then I can play Nasser for the op anyway, knowing Sadat will come along later on. So by playing into Syria, if I do get Middle East scoring for my headline next turn, that's grand. I do not. I do get duck and cover though, which seems like the natural opening, because he knows I'm holding defectors. I want to get CIA back in the deck next turn. Luckily I picked up De Gaulle, which is a bonus. If he purges me, I've got Marshall to ditch. So the question is, will he purge me, knowing that defectors is more likely to be in my hand after the deal? If he's got Indo-Pak War, he'll get the Milots. But I think duck and cover is just too attractive for the 3 VPs and denying the Egypt coup. So let's go that. And he may think he may play Middle Eastern scoring to get fancy, thinking I'm going to play defectors. That would be a good fancy play by him. But instead, I am not being fancy. Now he goes Vietnam Revolt, so he's looking to flip Thailand, and of course he can do that now that DEFCON is 2. Fair enough. So I'm going to be up against it in Asia. So how do I raise the country count there in the mid-war? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's likely to get 8. So let's not worry too much about that right now. So do I play De Gaulle and then pump France? Because I kind of want to hold I can't hold defectors and D-style, of course. So he's going to see defectors go. So let's play into Libya. Or do I first play into Saudi, knowing I've got Nasser? So Indo-Pak War, if he's got it, gets him his Milops. I need to space Korean War. If he does play IPW, I can try eventing Korean War and hope for the best. So he's spreading out, of course. Right, so let's pump the Middle East, because that's my best bet for scoring next turn. He's got Capture Nazi. That's gone. Go to CIA. Of course, I've got to play NASA, but I'll make it 2-2 at least in Egypt and try and do that AR6 or 5. And hopefully leave him too little time to take enough Middle East. So let's space Korean War. Get the VP. He's spacing special relationship because he doesn't want to give me one op. He gets there. I'm going to event de Gaulle. He knows Truman's gone, so he might use the China card to pump it, but Truman might come back in 3, of course. He's got to be afraid of that. That's fine. He may blockade me. Hopefully he blockades me, and then I can actually use NASA to take France fully. This is a gamble, but a calculated one, given my hand. I'd very much like blockade here. And he wants to free up D-Star, so he's got an incentive in blockading me. But instead we'll opt war in France. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, nicely done. Sly Dog denies me scoring, but I will at least finish off taking France. Because obviously there's not a lot I can do in Asia. I just accept I'm dominated there. And I hold on to D-Style. So, the key cards. In the reshuffle. A blockade. And most importantly, purge. But Romanian abdication hasn't come out. NATO hasn't come out and is currently playable by him. Indo-Pak War. A reason to go for India in the headline, possibly. East European unrest, Decol. I've got D-Style. Red Scare and UN intervention. I've got D-Style. So those are the key cards. Let's go into turn 3. Alas, I have Asia scoring. I can ditch blockade, but so he may purge me. And if he does, with Decol and D-Style in my hand, that's brutal. So I have to hope. If he does purge me, I'm going to be losing Germany. Ugh. In which case I UN intervention, blockade, and space D-Style to minimise the damage. My best bet to get Milops and to kind of kick off right is to play Indo-Pakistani War. So let's do that. And go to India. Right, very much hoping not to be purged here. So he's got purge, Eastern European unrest. Oh, okay. That's not the end of my world. He knows it's going to be scoring, but he knows it's going to be scoring anyway. Whew. So I can blockade. I can UN intervention Decol, blockade D-Star, but that only gives me 5 ARs. So I may space Decol and take all my ARs. But I'll be ditching Asia scoring, and he'll be cooing somewhere. So, I mean, he's already got 4 battlegrounds. He's got no interest in Japan. I just ditch Asia scoring ASAP. He won't go for control, but, you know, what can you do? So the key questions are... Well, the good thing is having both D cards means that I can stop him expanding into Africa, and he can't move to South America. So he's going to go into mid-war with a solid advantage. But it could be worse. He gets the coup with NATO. He's going to go for... Oh, wow. He's clearing me out of Africa. Nicely done. Alright, so I ditch Asia scoring right now. Massive lead. What a complimentary fellow, but really, the cards just fell into my lap. So Africa's an interesting position now, being cleared out of South Africa. Hope for puppet government soon. Shore up Panama. Make sure I retain domination in the Middle East. Defend against Italy brush war and socialist governments, actually. I was remiss not to top up Italy sooner. If I'm lucky, I can use Fidel and realign against it. So I'll probably be using NORAD to play 1 into Italy and 2 into Portugal. Which at least then makes the Italy flipper a 5 or a 6. I really want to be. Anyway, let's see what happens. Arab-Israeli war comes out. He takes Portugal first. Which is fine. We'll pop another 1 in Italy. That's probably risk-averse, but see how it goes. So he's still got Romanian abdication, which he knows he can event for the position. Eastern European unrest, which is a wash. Still got Purge. It's got a lot of ops. So the big old lead going into the mid-war. Thankfully, OPEC isn't doing a lot for him. It's not working for him. Southeast Asia obviously will score him well. And then it just becomes a bit of a push. Ah, good forking play. Hard to defend against. You could fear Truman, though. He's got a coup back if I coup Saharan states. That's a weird thing. If he's got Europe scoring, then he's done really well to unsettle me. So either way, I'll blockade D style. Okay, I'm going to let him walk into Nigeria. I just need to remember to coup Saharan states at the end of the round to stop presence-less domination. Let's give that a go. This game could be over very fast, couldn't it? So he walks into Nigeria. Fine. I'm going to space decol. No good. My astronauts are terrible. He's still got Red Scare, so he may pump somewhere with the ops. He's done well at conserving his ops as well. Let's see what he does. Oh, it's big. I can't defend against it, so if he's got Europe scoring, he's done nicely. So I'll give him Fidel. So if he drops Europe scoring here, he's done very well. Yeah. So I'll put one in Panama. Oh no, wait. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Africa ends the game. Or pretty much ends the game. I will coup here. Oh, and all I do is clear it out. Bummer. So. Yep. We've seen all the cards come out in the early war then. So I can risk duck and cover against We Will Bury You. And with the score the way it is, and with ABM Treaty in my hand, it's probably a reasonable punt. What's the other option? ABM Treaty in my own coup, giving him a coup back. Che's currently a free play for me. And of course, our man in Tirana might be worth seeing to get rid of some nasty cards. How risk averse do I have to be? Southeast Asia scores in 4. If I play ABM Treaty and he miss-LMBs me, he gets Che and it's no good. So let's do that. And it defends against We Will Bury You. Interesting. So I guess I have to coup. Oh, I mean, it's too attractive not to coup Thailand, and now he has to use the China card to flip it, and I can use Yasuri. So that helps with Southeast Asia scoring. He coups Panama. And all he does is clear it out. So I'll overprotect and level up Central America. Yeah, AFP's not doing anything for me right now. See, I can ask not Africa scoring, which is probably the right thing to do with the scoreline the way it is, although it kind of sucks. He has to space grain cells. and he succeeds. So now I really have to ditch Africa scoring. So do I omit before I ask not to discard bad USA cards before having to change the deal? Yes. Yeah, so now I don't pick up We Will Bury Oriende, which is good. Nuclear Subs is good for me. Lads is neutral, so I'll ditch it. He's more likely to headline Lads than I am. And we'll keep Nuclear Subs and Formosa in the deck, because Formosa, if I can take South Korea and Taiwan, Formosa gives me a 4-3 battleground count. At some point, I kind of want a Truman West Germany, but I kind of want to see him pump some ops into it first, if I can persuade, in inverted commas, him. So we've currently not seen Junta, Brush War, Salt, or Envy, which are the other power cards. Got to watch for those. Oh, and OAS. Spacing VOA as well, so now he gets the headline peak. So I need to ask not Africa. So I'm going to try realigning against Cuba first. One more! Boo! That's a bummer. If he plays back in, I'll try again with Duck and Cover, because now he's headline peaking, I can't headline it anyway. Although We Will Bury You's gone. So Cuba missed. Actually, I want to hold Duck and Cover, don't I? Well protected. So now I hit him with a Suri. The question is, North Korea, yeah. Although he can immediately respond to it. Let's ask not. I don't want to do it on AR7 in case I draw a scoring card. Let's keep Truman in the deck and take West Germany if I can aim correctly. There we go. So he ditches that for neutral. I will ask not Africa. And hope not to draw on Lone Gunman. Oh, even better. Africa's gone in 4. Arsenal's gone. It's a needs must moment, really. And C's gone. Yeah, 5 VP back would be nice for me here. And then I can score Middle East and then pump a Suri in AR7 to give him a crisis to deal with. So let's see what he does. He gives me Camp David. So he's trying to push to Panama the old-fashioned way. I'm just going to take my 5 VP now. Because a massive coup of Costa Rica is likely to fail anyway. Plus, unless he brush wars me, I can use duck and cover to stop a coup on Mexico anyway. So the question is it worth using Yusuri when Indo-Pak War might come back? Or do I put 2 in South Korea and 2 in... 2 in North Korea is obvious. 2 in Pakistan seems reasonable. Oh! Okay, so I have to use Yusuri because I want duck and cover as my headline. I at least succeed. But that sucks. Okay, so he's going to be peaking. I can't use Central America because if he brush wars me, I'm in a whole heap of trouble. So my instincts are still duck and cover. With We Will Bury You gone, he cannot drop DEFCON before my headline triggers. Although I'm just double checking because I'm paranoid. Yeah, it's not. Duck and cover, and then if he gets Central America domination, it's worth a few VPs for him, so it's a wash. Fine. Yep, go for it. I'm basically trying to stick around this game. Ride it out until the late war if I can. Which I'll be able to do if I can level up Asia, which means taking South Korea. Yeah, I'll flip Pakistan now, I've got the China card. Oh, so he's going to take Italy. Well done him. Well, Europe's scoring's not going to come back out anytime soon, so let's ditch Central America scoring for 1 VP. Yep, probably should have put 1 into Italy sooner. But c'est la vie. If he brush wars it now, it makes the deal done. He went at 5, and I used Central America scoring. Where did Willie go? Wasn't paying attention. Oh, he's taken South Korea. Oh well. So the China card flip of Pakistan is kind of a must to level up country count. But at least we've got Nixon and Yusuri back in the deck. So let's do that. And remember to add another one in Pakistan before too long. So I'll space Portuguese, especially as I lack South African access. So he's going for the 3 VPs. Oh boy, he's spacing well. I'm going to try and stop him spacing more. Good, okay, so he only gets 1 a turn now. I need to try and get 1 small step to the headline peak stage, because that's an issue. I guess I'm inventing Sadat to move him out of Egypt. He's got a lot of Muslim revolution targets. Oh, right, so I have to respond with colonial rearguards. And we'll see how he responds to that. That's fairly straightforward against South African unrest. Not a lot of choice. So he will take Nigeria and Algeria back, which gives me a chance to take South Africa and hope that he doesn't have a 3-up card to flip Zaire. The nuclear subs is looking attractive. Although, of course, that means he can dump CIA. So where's he warring? Zaire? Oh, Thailand. Okay, so he reclaims domination. Let's do some realigning. Come on! Ha! Great spelling. So what's he ditching this time, eh? Sod. Oh, okay. Well, you know, gets it back in the deck. Gets 3 ops for it. So I have to coup for my nil ops. I'm going to keep hold of Sadat. So, Junta, because I want to get into South America and coup Panama. Yeah, it's the straightforward coup. Start, drop DEFCON, yeah. Fine. Let's go, Junta. So I'm up against it, but what I want to do is puppet government after Junta and try and claim South America for 10 DP, or 8 even. Let's say 8, because he'll push into Colombia before I finish. So that's my prerogative here, and it's a good way of leveling up the score. If I can coup Panama hard, that's an even bigger bonus. So he's going to how I learned to DEFCON 2. I know, of course, I get to... Do I put it all in Chile, knowing that he's going to raise the DEFCON? Big. Not big enough. So he'll raise DEFCON back to 3, presumably. And take a coup. I still like my idea. If I can get round South America, I can help level the scoreline pretty handily. I'm still in big trouble for the late war now that Italy is held by him. So I'm holding Salt. We've now seen Junta. We still haven't seen Missile Envy, and 10-7's coming up, so that's worth bearing in mind. Yeah, CIA is still in the deck, so I'm still a bit gun-shy about using it. He's thinking. So he did go for it. He's going for a coup. He's pushing it. Oh, great work. Ow. Do I try and realign before I push into it? What are the odds of realigning him? Nope. 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 Okay, so I puppet governments to Venezuela and Brazil, and we end up neutralizing. That's a real bummer. Hmm. So I'm probably looking to hold nuclear subs to next turn. He'll take Argentina. Oh, he's overprotecting. Great. Okay, so I'll put pressure on Argentina, at least. He now has to use a 3-op to take it immediately. Which he does. Fine. So I'll use Formosa, and all my dreams of having South America scoring for a healthy amount of points is 4-0. That is life. I still need my Milots, but I will coup Haiti. Oh, he's going to take Panama. And what's he also going to do? Threat Mexico? Fine. Okay, so first things first, we take Mexico. I still need my coup so I can hit Haiti, but then I might be able to realign Cuba sympathetically. Okay. In which case, boy. One into Poland, he's got John Paul, yeah? Yeah, okay. So, I am going to ditch South America scoring. He may try realigning Nicaragua here, which is why he's taken Costa Rica, and with Cuba as well, he'll do a 2-on-1 realign. There's a lot to realign out of there. And he needs to protect against Poland. Warsaw Pact went as well, so he's hoping that comes back in the reshuffle. I'm going to use... There's so much I want to use nuclear subs on, but he's probably going to get CIA. I don't want to space it. Coup with it. So I'll coup Haiti. Get my Milots, put him under pressure in Cuba. But with turn 7 coming, what I actually want to do is pump East Germany, as it's underprotected. And then as a bland headline, I can use Sadat, because he's still peeking on me. That'll do. So going into turn 7, what haven't we seen? What haven't we seen? We have seen all of those. We haven't seen Summit. If we have, I haven't seen it because I've been bored. We haven't seen Kitchen Debates, lots of low-op cards. We did see Portuguese Empire. We've seen Brezhnev, that's gone. We haven't seen Muslim Revolution, that's a big one. Or did he use it for ops? No, he didn't. So that's still in the deck, Muslim Rev, and I don't have it. Which is a good reason to use Missile Envy. Although he's also got Flower Power. So either way I get a 4-op card. The question is whether he defcons me in the process. Ball's gone. Lads went. I've got OAS. He's got Nixon. That's good. He's got a shuttle. Unless he's spaced it, I wasn't paying attention. He's used Liberation Theory in 6. I've got OSS. South America Story went in 6. So do I gamble on Missile Envying him? Yes, because even if he does We Will Bury You, he's got Muslim and or Flower Power. Alright. I may choose not to coup with it. I may take East Germany and hope Warsaw Pact doesn't come back to him in the reshuffle. Because that at least redresses the balance of Europe. It's still going to be a tough late war. The reshuffle's gone. Yeah, so he's holding CIA as well. So as long as I can stop him getting to 20, which basically means Asia at the moment, if I can stop him getting to 20, then DEFCON is a... So he may choose to use Muslim revolution to pump me out of Iran and Egypt, which then more or less compels me to coup Egypt. Oh, not Egypt back, obviously I've got Sadat. I still think I'm going to push into East Germany and hope for Warsaw Pact not coming out. It's a bloody gamble. So at this point I've got to gamble it up. Yeah, so my prerogative is stop him getting to 20 VPs and try and end play him with CIA, grain sales potentially coming back. If I can use terrorism or 5-year plan or something to cut him down, I can DEFCON him. I need to use one small step to catch up, really, because then Star Wars comes into play as well. But I want to space liberation theory before one small step. 1, 2, 3, 4. So +2 in Asia, +1 here, -3 even ahead even. So kitchen debates isn't going to come off. I'm going to give him a coup. That may be a mistake. But I kind of want to deal with Europe. I go to influence. Oh, he's breaking it. So I'll use Summit, and I'll say I can do this all day long. Although I can't really. Ah! Neatly done. So let's see what he has specifically. He has got Nixon, we knew. He's got Shuttle. He's got Comic-Con. Muslim, we knew. Arms and Alliance. So we definitely don't want him taking 3 points with arms race. So that's now a priority. But I'm going to have to coup. That's lucky enough. But he's got CIA out, so now DEFCON suicide is less likely. All the more reason to open up with nuclear subs and start spray cooing Argentina and Panama. Realigning is more important, especially with Cuban Missile Crisis. Where else? Fine. Fine. Now, ironically, I need to put into Cuba to deny it. Sod it. Oh no, arms race as well. I'll use OAS. So I don't get to hold on to it. 1 in 3 chance. Pow! Okay, denies arms race, but now shows my hand on the Cuban Missile Crisis option. He may try for another coup, in which case I then have to use nuclear subs. He spaced them. So now I space Liberate 2. He's got discard as well. Okay, so now I use one small step. I'm not going to catch him for Star Wars, unfortunately. So endgame plan more or less has to be I'm giving up Asia for domination and trying to claim other places. I'm going to defend against Cyan, claim domination. If he walks into Cuba, I can still use OAS on AR7 to break Panama. And I still get realigns on Cuba. Ugh. I need one small step to deny headline peaks. The question is, which card do I want to ditch more? Sadat, I suppose. That to defend, or the 1 in 6 chance he doesn't get anywhere. Okay. Probably a good decision, although he can now take Egypt. Knowing Sadat's gone. But OAS is a lot more damaging, I suppose. No, he's used Muslim Revolution for influence. Ah, of course. Okay. I can't really defend against that. But at least he can't see my headline. What's he ditching? So late war games comes into play. I've got a fistful of attractive cards. If I can stop him getting to war games first. Well, I'll start with Truman. If he drops DEFCON and gets war games, am I sunk? I don't know. I'm playing from behind anyway. Let's start with Truman. So Cameroon, Haiti, Nicaragua, Costa Rica. Fine. Big coup. So to some extent I can't defend against war games. Or defend against the fundamentals. If you've got war games, the game's over. If I'm hasty and you think there was a way of defending against war games, I'm all ears. The fact there's no insta good game message and action makes me think he's still thinking. So Brush War Panama, try and take Cuba for everything. I mean, it seems to me that ABM Treaty, Angola coup is the start. Yeah, if I can Brush War Panama and take Cuba, the issue is DEFCON suicide because of Ortega. So that'll do enough to level the scoreline. I mean, it's just a case of hanging around long enough, isn't it? Fails. Okay, so I take Cuba the old-fashioned way. So he's giving me an extra turn this round. Okay, so he's taking Cuba first. Let's Glasnost coup Panama now. Well, I try and... If he uses 2 ops for Haiti and Costa Rica, that doesn't get me below the bleeding threshold for... So he is doing that. Quebec. Muslim Red's gone, so I use AWACS. Okay, see, breaking South America. I'll take my 2. I'm still in trouble with war games likely to come out. Or do I use OAS to break Cuba and Costa Rica, hoping he can't respond in AR7? That's worth an extra 3 VPs if he can't respond because he has a scoring card. Also means he can't plough over Europe if he wanted to do that. War games is still in play. The Reformer does tons of damage in Europe. Up against it, Aldrich may still come back to bite me. I'm on the back foot, certainly. Okay, so he uses the China card. Nicely done. So he ends up claiming Central America for 1 VP instead of me claiming it for 2. So where am I best doing damage? The Reformer still to come out. Does he want to ditch that other card? Let's see what it is. Yasuri, yes, of course he does. So I get the Reformer to space. Middle East scoring does well for me. Start with Junta, I suppose. Drop the DEFCON. Oh no, I don't want to drop DEFCON because the war games, do I? Indo-Pac War. Indo-Pac War plus Middle East scoring equals enough to get below the war games threshold. And it's 50-50. And that would level up Asia. This is a big 50-50 roll. Okay, Jejun headline for him. Big money, no whammies, and stop. Yay! Massive 50-50. D-Style's not worth a lot at this point. The Reformer is. So the Reformer will be my space card. If he tries to drop Defcon, Middle East scoring to get below 7, but then of course he can space to try and get back over the top. Let's see what he does. Star Wars is of course fine right now. Middle East scoring has to be played now to defend against war games. Which allows him to take Zaire. And do some damage. So space the Reformer, or clean up first. Oh, can I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the question is it possible / sensible to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ops in Asia to then event Formosa? Let's give it a try. I use the China card, cover up Pakistan, push into Taiwan and event Formosa. Weird, but possible. Ah, he's smart. Rushes ahead of the inevitable. Do I have better things to do now? Is the key question. Asia domination is still quite important in the long run. And there's no issues with Defcon suicide. Let's do that for now. I can always use Junta to realign him out of Mexico if he does push for it. But I really need to see, I don't know, I need to see Europe scoring to kind of get back in the mix. I guess because he's not tried spacing, he doesn't have war games this turn either. He's got to space tear down. Miss. Good. Okay, so he now can't discard a card either. What's the worst he can do with D-Star? Level up country counts in Europe. I may play it for the op. They're all playable. Junta, I guess I want to hold until turn 10 to drop Defcon if I can keep VPs below wargame level. So it's getting tight. He may Aldrich me in turn 10 as well, and Ortega's a suicide risk with Cuba set up the way it is. But I guess that can't really be helped either. Okay, I'm going to give him D-Style. Mostly because he doesn't have a lot of ops to throw away. He's got one extra one in Cuba and Finland. One in Syria. Okay, so he's got space to free them up. It'll be interesting to see where he goes with it. Excuse me, still recovering from a cold. So I need to remember to overprotect Pakistan. So I expect him to level up the country count in Europe and then play it for 1 VP, which is the biggest risk of D-Style. Yeah, okay. Could be worse. I expect him to move into Botswana here. I mean, Warsaw Pact's still a crisis for me, with East Germany looking the way it is. Oh no, both in South Africa, that's fine. So 1 in Pakistan, 1 in South Africa. I'll use Yuri and Samantha on AR7. Obviously, I want to event Formosa as late as possible to claim domination there. I'm going to have to watch Europe. Africa's already scored. It's going to be close. I need to try and get space before him as well, to be fair. So he's starting to shore up. That's fine. Yuri and Samantha to Mexico. I'd love to see War Games, of course, just to get another thing out of the mix. Junta to drop DEFCON. Bear Trap and then Purge, I suppose. Or Purge and then Bear Trap. Purge and then Bear Trap. Because then even if he takes the coup, he can't do a lot, and hopefully I can trap him for all of turn 10, which would be sick. Ah. He now gets to drop Def. Oh, but he doesn't have the VP for War Games, so that's fine too. Portuguese Empire crumbles isn't a big problem. We got the coup, but War Games isn't going to cut it just yet. So if he doesn't keep VPs, if he doesn't push VPs to 7, I don't immediately need to trap him. Basically, every time he plays a 3-op card and keeps VPs down, it's my incentive to let him keep reeling out. So let's see how he responds. Decent clock management. 4 minutes left is a bit less than you'd usually want in turn 10, but at least he's not totally starved. He ditches Europe scoring. I'm going to event Formosa now. and put him under pressure there. Because he knows he's got to go pumping. I can try and use Iran-Iraq War for VPs if I get desperate. Iraq's obviously the soft target there. But as long as he's not playing 3-op cards, I don't need to play Bear Trap, and I can Bear Trap him at some point in the turn when it comes to it. He now, of course, doesn't want the space, which is great to save the 4 VP. If he does space, I trap him immediately, obviously. That still leaves me in a pickle. I'd have to use Iran-Iraq to bag 2 VP. Stat. To get my Milops, I need to coup Cameroon. I want to do that as late as possible to design domination in Africa, at which point things swing my way. But it's very close. All of it is very close. And he has taken 2 minutes to take 2 ARs, so he's now under immense time pressure. He's salting. Okay, so if he puts me out of Iran and Saudi, I think at the moment I just want to continue. So where do I want to make my efforts? Let's get my Milops and coup Cameroon. Coup's a -1 at the moment, I forgot. Okay, so he gets a coup at DEFCON 4. That was silly. Pakistan with the China card. Seems like the obvious option. Okay. Okay, so I can now have a coup. How strong? 1 in 3. If I were to realign, basically continuing to offer him coups. Yeah, let's realign with it. And again, one more time. Foul! Yay! Good enough, pig. Good enough. So he'll now want a coup Zaire. He does at least succeed. And now he needs to decide if he uses Muslim Rev or not. I'm getting very close to trapping him. Salt stays in play the whole time, doesn't it? So another realign, I guess, yeah? Why not? Boom. Pretty nice. Bear Trap AL6. Fine. So I junta, and that's enough to win the game. Thanks for watching. Very close game. Yeah, all the cards fell my way late war. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, he's right. I just had to survive, and in the end I managed that by the skin of my teeth. But I got lucky along the way. Please tell me what you saw that you like the look of. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll finish talking to him, and you don't have to watch that. And I will see you again sometime soon. Thanks very much. Until next time.